let's see here. I have Major League MechWarrior overlays, but this is not Major League MechWarrior. This is MRBC. It is, of course, a league that's been going on for quite a long time. I think it's had 3 or 4 seasons now. Somebody can correct me in chat. I don't know exactly how many, but it is a format that encourages diversity and encourages, younger competitive teams to get in there. And it does this by sort of ranking the teams in divisions. So this is Division E matches, which are relatively inexperienced competitive teams. It's got 4 teams in it. All of them will be playing very shortly here. It's going to be, let's see, the Isengrim versus Ransom Corsairs right now, and then a half hour on Twitch TV / Army of One, WON. It's going to be... No, I lied. E is doing Division D, SIG versus Wild Aces, in like a half hour. But they're basically only 4 teams per division, it seems to be, based on this page that I'm looking at. MRBC league.com/league table. And it's more based on C-bills. It's not this sort of Boolean win or loss, not, you only play 3 matches out of 5 because, one team won 3 matches. It's not like that at all. It's based on the number of kills you got and certain objectives. The drop decks are all composed very differently, and it sort of has a more Battletech feel. Drop 1 is Reconnaissance, where you've got 4 lights and 4 mediums. Drop 2 is called Recon and Force, 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies. Drop 3 is Commander Assassination, where each team has a Highlander that essentially serves as the VIP. You've got then 3 mediums and 4 heavies protecting that. Drop 4 is Flank Engagement with 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, and 2 assaults. And the final battle is the Center of Battle Engagement, the heaviest one, which is 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults. Air and arty strikes are allowed on the last 2 drops, not the first 3 drops. And there are interesting chassis restrictions in order to diversify drop decks. I believe it's only 3, let's see. Teams are allowed to use a maximum of 3 clan mechs in each of the 5 drop decks, so no more than 3 clan mechs in any given drop deck. And teams cannot double up a clan mech. There can only be 2 duplicate chassis, and of course, because you can't double up a clan mech, they must be intersphere. So, you can't just stack a bunch of Thunderbolts up, for instance. 2 Thunderbolts max, and then 2 of something else. It encourages a lot more diversity than you see in other leagues, and it gives these teams that aren't so meta heavy a chance to compete in a different setting. And also in Reconnaissance, it looks like 2 ECM mechs are required, so that's kind of cool. Definitely a different flavor of Battletech, and I like it. It's a much different league than traditional Run How to Die, Major League MechWarrior, Last Mech Standing, those kind of things. So I am watching, doesn't look like all of them are in lobby yet. Probably going to be a few more minutes. First drop is going to be on Canyon Network. It is rotating maps, so it's not going to be the same map in each drop. It's going to go Canyon Network to Crimson Strait, Frozen City Night on drop 3, Mining Collective on drop 4, and then HPG Manifold to cap it all off on drop 5. In terms of rewards, each drop win is 250,000 C-bills. So, if you win 2 drops, you've made 500,000 C-bills. If you won all 5 drops, you won 1,250,000 C-bills. In addition, there's a bonus at the end for, sort of the overall picture, which is if you got, basically it's 50,000 C-bills for each drop you won. Additionally, this sort of gets tacked on at the end. A decisive defeat, 0 to 5 gets you no extra C-bills, 1 to 4 is 50,000, 2 to 3 is 100,000, etc., all the way up to a 5-0 victory, but that gets you an additional 50,000 C-bills on top of that, so you get 300 C-bills, or 300,000 C-bills for winning all 5 drops, on top of the 1,250,000 that you get from, each drop. And then there are other bonuses. You get 10,000 for each mech destroyed, you get 50,000 for the destruction of all enemy heavy and assault mechs in drop 4, 50,000 for the destruction of, same thing for drop 5, and in drop 3, basically, if you manage to kill the Highlander of the other team, it seems like if one team kills the other team's Highlander and preserves their own, they get 50,000, and the team that lost the Highlander gets negative 50,000. If both teams' Highlanders survive, or if both Highlanders die, neither team gets anything. So, complicated stuff, but it doesn't really matter. All you need to worry about is this first drop, skirmish, 4 lights, 4 mediums, 0 heavies, and 0 assaults. It's going to be a fast match. On Canyon Network, I shoutcasted Imperial versus Steel Jaguar here in their round 1 match, or week 1 match. On, I don't know, maybe Thursday, maybe, yeah, one of those days. EMP tried to go a little pokier, and Steel Jaguar definitely did a better job of just sort of balling into them and crushing them. I don't think that trading is the way to go here. I think that you need a Streak Stormcrow, a Streak Kit Fox, and, you know, whatever. I mean, streaks are just the name of the game here. You need to use those 2 clan mechs wisely. So, we're going to see what they do. Both of these teams, let's see. I don't know exactly. As you can see, Mech the Dane trying to get everything sorted. Wasn't really expecting to play, apparently. Who knows? My guess is we'll be started by 6:15, so stay tuned. Probably gonna go get a drink here. Let's read chat. Hey, we should probably change the title. And Mr. Petzold is not in this unit. I guess I should have recognized him as AS, but I didn't, so that's good. I'm not watching him. I'm gonna watch... I want to think I'm watching Moonglum. Moonglum and Mech the Dane. Those are the two. You know, I'm looking at Major League MechWarrior roster. You know what? I'm not looking at Major League MechWarrior rosters now. Fuck that. I've inputted all this data. We're going to use these team overlays. Huge shout out to Fark Noodle for doing this awesome shit right here. Yeah, right here. So Moonglum, that's probably a good choice. Any of these people are probably good people to contact. So, yeah. Let's talk about these units. I have no clue what Ransom Corsairs is, but I always like their description. Just about as much as anyone else's. I actually had to cut a little bit of it out just because for Snaffit's bracket I had to abridge it, but it's quite funny. These guys were good sports in Major League MechWarrior, and I look forward to seeing them play here. Hopefully they've learned some stuff and take it forward. The Isengrim, on the other hand, notoriously bad promotional videos. Like, bad in the way of classic live action cutscenes. Like, that just creamy nostalgia bad that you just want to see more of. I love it, and I love those guys and their paint job and their commitment to, you know, having a lot of fun with it. They've been good sports, and I always like seeing them play, so. There they are, is your roster: Mech the Dane, Crux Holder, Kamikaze Viking, Terragato, Jump Gunnington, UCR Starwolf, LSU Tiger Tank, Isabel, Ninja Daddy, NDPN, DNT, Independent. There we go. I was like, what am I spelling? Gunhag, Publius. For a minute there, I thought that was like Puglius, so I was like, that's pretty good. Odin Steel, Mushrion, Shroom? I don't know. Guess Mushroom. Liquid 50. Thorough. Windadine 69. FN 180. I don't know. I feel like I'm not quite putting that all together correctly, but it's there. And Top Shot Tiger, Corpse Z, Jim Tor, Grim to Grim, Theseus. Of course, these rosters are actually probably different than what they're using now, considering these are the Major League Warrior rosters, and I have no fucking clue what the MRBC rosters are, nor do I have the motivation to put them in this text file. So, reading off the Ransom's Corsairs roster, it's going to be Puppeteer, Xerxes, Moonglum, Synapse, 49, Juxtapo, Scion, Slicer Shanks, Deadeye, 01, Disappearo, Grifter, Larger, that's horrible, that just, oh god, Larger, Isengrim, Muzakman, Arcadash, Inflatable Fish, Grimtooth, Siege Gun, Ronus 9, TV64, Silent Ruin, Slicer Jin, Muramuto, Izanami, Sheen Tantalus? Sheen Tantalus. I want to know how someone comes up with a name like that. Like, how do you slam those words together? I like it. I dig it. Fenrisolven? Probably. I don't know. Whatever. If I pronounce any of these wrong, feel free to not contact me, because I'll never be pronouncing them right. There are way too many names in this game to remember. But, just keep your expectations low and you'll always be pleasantly surprised. So, guess we're just gonna head back to the match screen and wait it out. Eventually they're gonna drop here. I think that both teams are in lobby, so probably only about 2 minutes. I assume we'll be going before 6:15. Sorry, viewers, just type into Army. He's trying to get his overlay set up, of course. A lot of teams aren't added. Like, I just added Ransom's Corsairs information today, so who knows. If your team doesn't have overlay information, or you didn't compete in Major League MechWarrior or something like that, you should probably bug me on Reddit, the forums, Twitch, wherever, and get your info to me so we can get you up there. We are going to be releasing all of this stuff to the public come July 21st when Public Spectator is out, and I hope that we'll get a lot more stuff shoutcasted, so... And remember, for those boring 10 or 15 minutes, 20, 30, 90 minutes between drops that we usually see, Be sure to check out Twitch TV/Army of One. That's Army of WON. Going to be shoutcasting Sig versus Aces Wild in about minutes here. Of course, I assume matches will also start 10 to 15 minutes late, but there you go. Check it out. Tune it in. That way you're never bored. Oh my god, I want to go get alcohol so bad, but I really don't want to miss the beginning of this drop. Viewers, I am really I'm gonna chance it. We're going here. We're gonna go get another drink, and I will be right back. Hopefully this only takes about a minute and we don't miss anything. And survey says we missed nothing. Still in lobby, both Mechthedane and Moonglum. If both of them are not actually playing in this match and both of them are still in lobbies, then they're huge dicks, and I blame it all on them. It's not my fault. Hopefully overlay stuff is going to work. Pretty sure that automatic scene switcher is going. Hopefully you will never have to deal with overlay issues again. Poor viewers. So again, for anyone just tuning in, it's 5 drops. They play out all of the drops. They're all skirmish. They're all class restrictions. First drop is 4 lights, 4 mediums on Canyon Network. Drop 2 is 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies on Crimson Strait. Drop 3 is Commander Assassination with 1 Highlander VIP, 3 mediums and 4 heavies on Frozen City Night. Drop 4 is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, and 2 assaults on the Mining Collective. And finally, the big battle, the heaviest by far, with 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults, is going to take place on HPG Manifold. Strikes allowed in the last 2 matches. Alright, well, I'm gonna start playing a drinking game, and it's the every minute this game does not launch, I am drinking. So, here's one for 6:18. On Pacific time, by the way. 9:15 elsewhere. 21:19 for you everybody else in the world that doesn't use the AM/PM system. I don't know, is that just an American thing? Is that only us doing our own thing, like the Imperial system? Less than like 3 other third world countries or something? The hell, man. The worst part is that it's not like you don't have to learn the metric system. I mean, if you go into any field that like uses units of measurement, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna use the metric system. We're never gonna see the imperial system again. You just, you know, got a bunch of useless information dumped on you because, because America. Another NA match going on. Clan Kodiak Alpha Drop versus Apocalypse Lancers. Jeez, I almost feel like going and doing that. It looks like Ransom Corsairs has some issues or something, and Mr. Petzold's telling me about another NA match that's going on. Clan Kodiak Alpha Drop versus Apocalypse Lancers. So let's try getting in on each bezel. Nope. Nope, of course not. Damn it. Oh god. They are probably between drops or something like that. Sure enough, I can't get in on either of them. So I'm drinking twice, once for 619 and once for 620 and once for 621. We're drinking 3 times. Here we go. It's strong. Voss 70 line. Let's give that a shot. Nope. Probably between matches, so whatever. Normally I would use this time for shoutouts and all sorts of interesting stuff, but it's Sunday, I'm lazy, I haven't prepared for this, I have no clue what's going on. And I love Takis. I don't know if anybody knows what Takis are, but you should totally know. Takis. There's only one flavor that matters. They get a bunch of different flavors, but most of them are actually pretty shitty. But Takis Fuego flavor. Deliciously spicy. I don't know if you can hear me eating. I'm sure it sounds attractive, but it's the sound of satisfaction, needless to say. So we're getting in on drop 2, I think, of Clan Kodiak versus Apocalypse Lancers now. I just wanted to say that the overlay has nothing to do with what's really going on, but I'm pretty sure that is what's going on. Okay, so everyone keep in mind, this is not RC versus man, I'm not going to be able to keep these teams straight. This is not RC versus Eisen. This is Clan Kodiak, I believe over there in red, versus Apocalypse Lancers here in blue. Voss 79 is the drop commander for Apocalypse Lancers, so sure enough, Crimson Strait, I think that's drop 2. So let's see, 2 fire starters, 2 Wolverines, a Stormcrow, a Hellbringer, a Sparky, and a Timberwolf. Pretty standard drop deck from Apocalypse Lancers. In the meantime, Clan Kodiak has opted for basically the same thing. Their lights are the Raven 2Xs. That's going to be the big difference between these 2 drop decks. They even doubled up on the same, well, the Wolverines at least. They got a blackjack instead of a Sparky, but pretty similar except for those Ravens. The Ravens are going to be a huge difference just in terms of how they want to play. And you can see it with where they're setting up. They just want to sit out here and poke. These fire starters are going to need to get in close to do any work. So effectively, they're down 2 mechs right now unless they can figure out a good way to get these fire starters inbound. I'm sort of thinking it'd probably be a good idea to get tags off the screen for now, so we can see what's actually going on the screens here. teams are not balled up, so there's no point. So you can see they're taking their time, Apocalypse Lancers. Getting up here. They're none too eager to charge in. And just doing a little bit of Gauss sniping right now. I believe it's, he's got the A, 3 lasers up there. Sure enough, no weapons in the arms. Maybe like 3 or larges in that right torso. Let's actually get in here and take a look at these drop decks. Of course, the Wolverines, just a bunch of larges. Sure enough, Gauss Rifle and 3 ER larges. I wonder if that's what the counterpart's running. Wolverines, yeah, about the same. Gauss and Maids from that. Wolverine with AC 5s and a medium pulse sensor. This is not what I expected. This is not the regular Wolverine. So that can put out just a sick amount of DPS if it can get to do work. But it's going to have to get a little closer. It's not going to be able to trade the same. Medium pulse lasers, they're not doing anything. Timberwolf with 2 large pulse, I guess, and a Gauss. So a little bit different than standard, but both these teams playing very conservatively. I'm going to check team or Twitch chat right now. Drunken Radio Bill. Drunken Radio Bill does not sound like a good cast, ladies and gentlemen. That is not what we're going for here. And no more radio casts as far as I can tell, because I have an automatic scene switcher that basically makes me just not think about it. Even when I would like to not automatically switch, it just does its thing. We're going to go ahead and put these tags back on, I guess, because I want to make sure nobody's doing anything sneaky that I can't see. I don't know what the hell the Firestarters is doing. As you can see, trading really hasn't done much of anything. The most damage is like Lefty. Oh, a headshot Hellbringer. Now look at that. That could end up being a factor there. I was wondering why he was light up there. But sure enough, he has been opened up on the face. So if he takes a good lucky shot, he'll go down. That could turn the tide of the battle here. Lefty 34 has taken 93%, most of it to the CT, so that's definitely not good. I don't know about using ER larges in this thing or anymore. That burn duration is just brutal. See, they're totally spread out. Firestarters just way, I don't know, I guess he's just watching the back. This is not what I'd be doing with Firestarters, to be honest. I feel like they need to, like, be getting looks. They need to not be paranoid that someone's coming from behind. You just need to go out there and count 8 mechs and make sure that their whole force is there. I'm hesitant to say that that preemptive strategy is better than just scouting out the 8 people. I mean, hell, they've got enough time to run all the way over to the city if they really wanted to. Not that you would want to get your Firestarters that far away, but I don't know. It's not like they have anything better to do, frankly. They're pretty much stranded back here. Again, those Ravens probably the better choice in terms of just being able to control the range of the engagement. Now these 2 Ravens, including Black Dracon, going over here to the right side. They're probably going to try to get shots from up top the platform. And I don't know if the other match has started yet. I have no clue. And so I'm just going to take a drink. Crown standing by. And those Firestarters. Oh man, this could work out really bad for these Ravens. Sure enough, oh man. They either got seen or they just got unlucky, but now they are totally stranded, and that Black Dracon is going to get wrecked here. He's going to get legged, 83%. He drops down and tries to get away. Can those Firestarters needed to drop down. They needed to get down there fast and take those legs off. Can they get him before he gets away? Sure enough, that's a leg. They're going to be down 1 Raven, and it looks like Apocalypse Lancers is now going to have to make the move. Crown got away, but not without taking a serious amount of damage. As you can see, Apocalypse Lancers moving away from their island position, shifting right. They've still got a Wolverine out there, probably just to hold the line. And honestly, if those Firestarters wanted to go out there and catch him now, they could probably do it. But he is also going to start shifting left at this point. Gordon Gecko and that Timberwolf for Apocalypse Lancers down to 73%. Definitely not doing particularly well. Probably opened up on both sides. Not quite. Almost. Almost open left torso. Both the arms are not looking good, but they're just throwaway parts anyways. Firestarters back on defensive positioning. I don't know exactly what happened. How they spotted the Ravens or whatever it was. However they got up there and figured out that those Ravens were there and pounced on them. It was a great call. Or it was just really lucky, but they nailed it. That was it was a little too risky in my opinion with those Ravens to be all the way up here, because anytime you're ready to get blindsided, it's just not a good idea. Raven leading the charge out here. Stormcrow, Catch It Panda. We're going to try to get in on him. Firestarter's not moving up yet. I don't know about this. Gordon Gecko trying to cycle away from the push in his Timberwolf. He's going to get caught out alone if he doesn't keep moving. So they're chasing the tail here, and the two heavies are there, and the rest of their team moves in behind. They really needed to get this push going a little bit sooner, but now they're doing all right. Professor D down to 75%, 70%. They've caught Lefty the Timberwolf in the back, and he goes down. Both Timberwolves are down. Professor D and his Hellbringer about to go down. I would say that ultimately, because of the Firestarters, that the team with the Firestarters has the advantage. That is how much I remember names right now.
New target acquired.
It's a close match. 4-2 in favor of APOC right now. And Murph Daddy and that Hellbringer is legged. Sure enough, APOC doing a great job keeping Bald up here. Hard eye on that Wolverine. Definitely pretty fresh though. Tanketh rushing in. He overheats. This is not a good move here. He gets legged. That left leg is going to pop. So, yeah, geez. Nice comeback here. And now it's 4-5 and it's in CK's favor. They pulled it off. Some not great maneuvering. I mean, this Wolverine's basically dead. And it looks like CK has come back from this. Some not smart moves. Cannot overheat in Firestarters. Cannot overheat. You have to keep moving. Doing that extra tiny bit of damage is not worth putting your team a mech down for. And unless this Firestarter can really pull it clutch here. Nope. CK with a great comeback. So I'd talk about this, but the other round's probably already started, may even be finished by now. But needless to say, great job by CK. They pulled it together, they pushed, they did a good job. They got the heavies and isolated them out to give themselves a chance, and then they cleaned up when APOC just got too greedy and went in one at a time. Didn't do a good job focus firing. So well done there. So now we're going to go, let's see, friends list. Moonglum, they are in rounds, so we've missed some of it. Who knows when we're getting in or what's going on. This is, I assume, probably still their drop 1, and it will be on Canyon Network. This is going to be the light drop. 4 lights, 4 mediums. Probably in at the tail end here. Light drops are usually pretty damn fast. Okay, what the hell's going on? 1 kill. Okay, 2 kills in Isengrim's favor. It looks like those streaks, as you saw, doing work. It looks like Isengrim got a little, RC got a little isolated there. Now they're not in a great place. They're all sort of down in this ditch, huddled up against this wall. Eisen taking great position on the high ground. taking peeks from multiple angles. You got Caesius. Watch him here with those streaks. He's going to be... Look at that. Boom. Boom. Just tons of fucking damage coming out of this Stormcrow. You have to focus the streak mechs first. Bottom line. Slider, the last one. And so drop one goes to Isengrim. Didn't get to see all of it, but it was clearly a convincing victory. Even more convincing after looking at those numbers. Caesius, I feel like that's how you pronounce that name. During the day, 500 damage, 3 kills. I'm tempted to give him 500 MC for that. But it was a streak mech, so it's like just point and click. Don't even point necessarily, just click. But that's what happens. You know, in these light drops, you cannot ignore streak mechs. Streak mechs are the tits, and you need them. And if you don't have them, you're totally screwed. I don't know what their drop deck was or if they had them, but it looks like they're actually playing one man down here. They might actually be playing a man short, so geez, no wonder things are so difficult and terrible. I hope that they get another guy, because it's not going to be... I'm going to be honest, these matches are not going to be competitive if they're playing a man down. So, should probably adjust the scoreboard here. Isengrim takes the first match. And next drop is going to be... Drop to Recon Enforce. Skirmish 2420. And it's gonna be on Crimson Strait. Crimson Strait, sure enough. Alright. So we're gonna do that. I'm thinking about just dropping it on CK's matches between drops because, well, this is not going to be competitive if they are dropping with 7 people, I guess. I don't know. They're in lobby, so I feel like since that's what I'm supposed to cast, I should probably do it. I'm going to give them until 640. If they haven't dropped by 640, then yeah. Man, but then it's gonna be over. Whatever. No, Voss 79 isn't in match yet, so alright. I guess I don't exactly know what happened in the last match, so it's pretty hard to do a real recap here, but we're gonna attempt it. It's not Conquest. It's Deathmatch. Skirmish. Okay, let's switch the overlay over here. Let's get the map view up. Let's do that. Bring up map tactic. Favorite thing. I don't know who the hell spawned where. I want to assume that Eisen was red and over here. That's what I'm going to say. So Eisen was doing that and RC was over here. By the end, the only part that we really saw was a stranded Ransom Corsair mech dying there, and the rest of them just sort of trapped down here in one of the places you really don't want to be on the map. Why don't you want to be down here? Because Eisen had occupied this entire firing line. They were totally encircled, being shot from, you know, the corners, up top, behind pillars, by the streak mech that just sort of sat here after, you know, it killed this dude over here. It, you know, came over there. I don't know exactly what happened, but they got a little bit split up, and they just got caught in a bad position. You have to own a favorable position. It's just, yeah, don't know how it happened.